What you making, DIYers? It's Walker and Zephyr and Remy, and we are taking a look at this city step-through fat tire e-bike, the Cycanon by Vanpowers. Real quick, before we get started, I want to thank Vanpowers for sending me the e-bike. What we're going to do is we're going to unbox it, take everything out, put it together, take it for a spin, and see how it rides. Real quick, let's check our comments from my last video. My last video was on the Cycanon fat tire e-bike replacement tires. If you haven't seen that, check it out here. And Cycanon 66 says, hey, I don't use my seatbelt either when I ride on my e-bike. Thug life. All right, I'll heart that right now. That's cool. This Leo Bessa 2887 wants me to do a speed comparison before I put the tires on and after. You know what? The speed was so, I mean, they are slicker than the knobby tires that were on before, but you're not going to notice a speed difference, to be quite honest. And we have eBorder, who writes comments all over my videos. Thank you, eBorder. Shout out. He just gave me some shakas and lightning bolts and such. So thanks for that. Okay, moving right along to this video. They printed some information here on the top of the box, tools needed, how to set the seat height correctly, and then they remind you to always wear helmets. So obviously, I'm going to want to wear helmets. Okay, all right. Well, it seems nicely packaged. Lots of styrofoam, lots of plastic, lots of cardboard and padding. So this is all very good. Start removing somewhat systematically. Ooh, one thing you're going to want are a pair of clippers to clip some of these zip ties. Okay, we got our clippers. That way we're not swinging a knife around. We're not scratching paint. One thing I did also notice is there is a hole in the box here. Looks like something poked it. Hopefully nothing fell out and hopefully nothing crawled inside. That would be funny. Okay, I think we're to a point where I can lift the bike out of the box. You may need to have some help with this. And also, I will say that the bike arrived super quick. Like I thought it was gonna take 3 or 4 days, and it got here in like 2. So I'm guessing that maybe it ships from somewhere in Southern California because it got to San Diego very fast. And when it does show up, it is a pretty heavy, big, bulky thing. And the driver of the FedEx truck helped me get it inside. But yeah, you may want somebody else here. You may want somebody to help you get it in, get it moved around. And so let's lift with our legs. Just like that. That was pretty easy. Now let's get this out of the way. I always recommend that you hold on to your bike box for pretty much as long as you can, because you never know when something's gonna go wrong. You might need to ship it back or ship it somewhere. So I know they're big and bulky, but if you can hold on to them, try to, because it's come in handy before. Okay, I'll use the clippers. A little bit more clipper work. And then we got a warning here that says This derailleur protector is used to protect the derailleur from being deformed during shipping. If the derailleur is deformed and touches any part of the derailleur, it will affect the use of the derailleur. Please pull the protector out. Keep it 15 millimeters away from the derailleur. Okay, well, seems fine. It's not bent or distorted at all, so I think it's good. Just want to be careful not to scratch. So there are 3 colors for the bikes. There's a lava red, there's like an army green, and then there's this really pretty blue. And all the colors kind of have this pearlescent, this pearl, metallic pearl kind of thing going on, which is different. I like it. And this is a nice blue color. It's kind of vintage. Kind of reminds me of a Fender Stratocaster or something.
Excellent!
Okay, let's get inside these boxes. See what kind of goodies we got in here. Got probably an assembly guide. If you're a book if you're one of those book readers. Got a bell. Nice. Well, we got some touch-up paint. That is a first. I've never seen a company give you touch-up paint for the bike, but I really, really like that. That is above and beyond. That is delighting the customer. I love that. And you can paint your fingernails to match. So you could do that too. And then we've got the computer screen. And this would appear to be rubber grips for the computer screen. Oh look, and we've got some poop bags. Guys, they gave us poop bags. Yeah, excited? And we've got some plastic pedals here. Might as well jump in on those. Let's see what else. Oh yes, here's the battery charger. Very nice. Power cord and some tools. Okay, they give you some basic tools to get the job done. They got some box wrenches, some Allen wrenches, screwdriver. Yeah, nice. They got some tools in here for us. Let's try those out. And you got keys to the kingdom. Sorry, just keys to the bike, but keys nonetheless. And there's a screw rolling around in here. Not sure what that's to, but it looks like it came out of that bag. Actually, there's more of them in there. Okay, that's fun. And then we got this box. Let's see what's in here. This appears to be the handlebar stem. It's got a rubber cap and it's covered. It's got a little bit of plastic open. That. Yeah, that's the stem for the handlebars. Okay, now that's everything. The cool thing is Vanpowers actually produced a fantastic installation video showing everything from, putting on step 1 all the way through to the end. So the good thing is I don't really have to show step by step putting it together because they did such a great job with their video. better than I could do. So check that video out right here if you want to do the step-by-step. In our case, hey Zephyr, hit the hyperdrive. We're gonna go fast. Just do it real quick. Good. All right, and that pretty much completes the assembly. That wasn't too bad. That was actually the easiest e-bike I've ever put together, to be quite honest. And just putting it together, oh look, they give you 2 sets of keys. I just noticed that. And just putting it together and working with it and touching it and feeling it, I actually really like the build quality of this bike. It's a little bit better than the other e-bikes that I've put together. Everything seems a little bit more stronger, durable, heavy duty, and I really like that. So real quick, let's power. The power button is up here on top of the speed control, so we'll press and hold that just to make sure. And we'll just go ahead real quick and lift the back. Yep, we have power, we have movement, everything is looking good. Battery is actually almost fully charged, which is nice. Okay, we'll go through some quick operation. Like I said, up here is the power on, power off the unit. If you press and hold the plus, our front light will come on. You can see, yeah, it's nice and bright enough. It's a cool looking headlight, I love that. So you press and hold to turn that on and off. You press and hold the minus button and it'll give you walk assist. If you're going up a hill or something and you want the bike to give you just a little bit of help as you walk up a hill, press and hold the minus button and it'll do that for you. Press the info button and you can change, through your different options. Trip, maximum speed, average speed, odometer, and then what is time? Time might be the time of the ride or something. And then current power output. Yeah, this thing's got like a 750 watt motor on it, which is pretty beefy, but it does top out at 20 miles per hour on the road, just so you know. All right, let's little ASMR on that little piece of plastic there. 7-speed Shimano thumb push click system. And you got your front brake, rear brake. And it's got the twist throttle. It does have a torque sensor in the crank system. And it is a little bit different than other e-bikes I've ridden. Other e-bikes, if you move the pedals just a little bit, they just have like a motion sensor. So they'll start hitting the acceleration once you start moving the pedals. But this one actually has a torque sensor, which is a little more sophisticated. You actually have to put a little bit of effort into it. And once you start giving it a little bit of effort, then it starts giving you a little bit of juice, which is a little bit nicer because I've accidentally moved the pedals a little bit and had my bike take off on me a time or two. So a little bit more of a sophisticated system, probably a little safer, and I like that they did that addition on this bike. And then the tail light here, it's all integrated. It doesn't take any other batteries. It's nice. It's all hardwired, which is great. No additional batteries needed there. I believe it comes on as soon as you turn the headlight on. Yeah, and you get a tail light. And it's solid red when you're riding, and then when you're braking, the tail light flashes red, which is kind of nice. However, to me, it seems more logical if it was blinking while you're riding and solid red when you're braking, but maybe that's an update they can do later. It's super clean. I'm not seeing any wires or cables. They run it all through the body of the bike, which is really nice. Not a whole lot of cabling visible, which is great. It also means that it's a little more concealed, and it'll hold up and it'll protect it in wet and other inclement weather. The bell, obviously, super important there. Get out of my way. That's a good, it's a C sharp. Get out of my way. One other neat feature that this bike has, making it a little bit easier to get in and out of your vehicle, it has a folding, you gotta press the lever and your handlebars fold down nice and neat. And then you can also drop the seat all the way down, and it gets a little bit more compact. You can get this thing in and out of an SUV relatively easy. That's just a nice little addition. People living in, small apartments and stuff like that, it gives you a little bit more space if you need it. The power assist levels, you hit the plus button and it'll jump you up and down to your different 5 power assist levels. You can hit max speed at most of them, but you're gonna have to pedal. Basically, the higher you go, the less you have to pedal, the less hard you have to pedal. But the higher you go, the quicker you get to top speed. So, at 5, you're gonna get there a lot quicker. Like I said, the bike tops out at 20 miles per hour. I'm sure that that's not circumventable. From the videos that I saw online, you can't unlock it to get a higher speed. Maybe that's something that'll change over time, but for now it doesn't seem like it's possible. It says it has an 84-mile range, which is pretty impressive. The battery, this thing's, let's take a look at the battery. And they give you a little Vanpowers keychain thing here. It's kind of cute. The key itself is actually only used to remove the battery. The bike will still function and operate without the key. So the key is just to remove the battery. To pop the battery out, you just put the key in to the hole here, give it a twist, and boom, battery's out. Yeah, that is a good sized battery. So there you go. That's why it's got range, just because it's got a decent sized battery. It also has a little battery indicator on the top. Give that a press and it'll tell you roughly where you're at. Charging can be done either in the bike or off the bike. It's got a little port here. To charge the battery on the bike, first remove this little rubber door here, like that, and then plug your charger in, and then plug your charger into the wall. You're always going to want to plug it directly into the wall. You're not going to want to use any extension cords or anything. Now, to charge your battery off the bike, I'm going to unlock and remove the battery just like that. So find a nice, cool, well-ventilated place. Plug the charger right into your battery, and then plug the charger directly into the wall. You should see the indicator here turn red, indicating that it's charging, and I'm assuming that when it's done charging, it either turns off or it turns green. Yeah, and that's how you charge it indoors. All right, I say we take this thing outside, take it for a spin, and see how she rides. Cool? First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to see if we can fit the bike in my car. I have a Hyundai Ioniq 5, which is technically considered a hatch, not an SUV. So if you have an SUV, maybe you might have even more space. And I've already dropped the back seats down. So hopefully we can just fold the handlebars down, lower the seat, and fit it in there. That's what I'm hoping, without having to remove the front tire. Yeah, I got space there, and I got space there. So yeah, it fits. No need to remove the tire. All right, let's go. We're gonna be taking this thing up this hill. Hopefully we can make it to that water tower up there. And we'll see how this thing does on the trails. You know, it's technically considered a commuter bike, but it does have those fat tires with the knobby treads. It also has the front suspension going on. So I think this thing will do just fine off-road. Skip to the end of the video if you want to see where you can buy this thing and discount codes to save you a little bit of cash. All right, let's hit the trails. Ooh. Hi, walk assist. Yes, yes, do my walking for me. All right. All right, and here we are. Made it to the top. There's the water tower. So yeah, that was actually pretty fast, pretty quick, pretty easy actually. With the e-bike, didn't break too much of a sweat. And going up this section right over here, the walk assist really helped out quite a bit. It was a little too steep for me to ride up, so I had to jump off and use the walk assist, and it worked beautifully. What a great little off-road bike as well. It's a daily commuter, got 84 miles of range. Thing tops out at 20 miles per hour, but it's capable off-road and on-road. So it's a good all-around little e-bike. I'm really liking it. All right, well, let's see if we can get the drone out, maybe get a little bit of drone footage. Hopefully we're not too close to Palomar Airport. We can fly the drone over here and get some aerial shots. Yeah, it's really beautiful up here. It's quiet. Here's to getting outdoors and having some fun. Well, I went up and down this mountain and I had a blast on this Cycanon by Vanpowers. This thing's got a little bit of guts, and I like it. And it goes everywhere I want it to go. And it does a fantastic job doing it. So kudos, I love it. Check out vanpowers.com. They've got a lot of cool e-bikes, a lot of cool things going on their website. And the one thing that I really want to check out is they've got a road bike that is electric, and it's got a inline drive system, which I'm super interested in. So Vanpowers, if you're watching this, I would love to try out one of those. If you're interested in purchasing one of these bad boys, please use the link in my description along with the promo codes down there. They'll save you a little bit of cash. So here they are. Use them wisely. So please check out that link, check out those promo codes, and we'll see you next time. We're all dirty, let's get her clean again.